Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jadvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Om Jnanatamrindasya Gyanjanashalakya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namne Namah Charipadaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gorakatha Dham Dhai Nagar Gram Tarine Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namne Namaste Saraswati Ve Gaurvani Pracharne Nirvisesh Sunyavadi Paschat Deshtarne Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to say now. Okay. All right, no problem. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela Chapter 4 Text
108 Mataji.
108. Today
Yes,
is
ma'am.
wonderful. Radhikara Bhava Yeche Uddhava Darshane Sei Bhave Matta Prabhu Rahe Ratri Dine. Just as Radhika went mad at the sight of Uddhava, so Lord Chaitanya was obsessed day and night with the madness of separation. Those under the shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can understand that his mode of worship of the Supreme Lord Krishna in separation is the real worship of the Lord. When the feelings of separation become very intense, one attains the stage of meeting Sri Krishna. So-called devotees like the Sahajyas cheaply imagined they are meeting Krishna in Vrindavana. Such thinking may be useful, but actually meeting Krishna is impossible through the attitude of separation taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because in separation, there is more surrender. There is no enjoyment at all. Only, oh, Krishna, I can't, where are you? I mean, it's complete, it's not torture or something, but the more longing, more surrender, more submissive. So it's like a real purification. But the thing is, because any surrendering to Krishna always gives the mind great pleasure, right? Anytime we just think of the lotus feet of the Lord and surrender to Him, then because Krishna is not, there is no place where He is not there. So actually, there is no separation from Krishna in the real sense. But if we cannot see Him externally, then naturally the devotee feels, he doesn't, at that time, the intensity is very severe. They can't think of anything else. They're not eating, nor sleeping, nor talking, nor doing anything. Just thinking of Krishna. And I mean, Radharani's case, she was like so much mad. Completely, she was incapable of doing anything else, only thinking of Krishna and longing for his association. So then that is the stage in which you can meet Krishna, because Krishna is there, but you meet him by the devotion, by the complete surrender and the longing. Then Krishna comes, he shows himself. So, like that, that is why the Goswamis are always, they are praying, where are you, Krishna? When will I meet you? They never said, oh, I saw Krishna in the bush. They don't say that, because that is not the mood. The mood is complete. I cannot see Krishna and I want to see. And when you express that longing, that is when Krishna is satisfied. And then he gives, that's why we think that, oh, all eternity I'll be looking at Krishna. Then what? How do people forever only Krishna? First of all, Krishna is so unlimited, full of variety, and nobody will get bored. In fact, the gopis are always looking at Krishna and still they're not satisfied. And they're blaming Brahmaji, why they didn't, he's making the eyes blink. Then I'm not able to see him completely. So, like that, first of all, he is not at all someone who you'll get tired of. And apart from that, he keeps on increasing the love for him through disappearing. So, it happens everywhere, even in the Goloka Vrindavana also. So, in this way, Krishna keeps on increasing. the love we feel for him by his disappearing acts. So that रात्रि प्रलापकरि स्वरूपेरा कंतधारी आवेशे अपना भव कहे उगाड़ी. At night, he talked incoherently, in grief, with his arms around Swarupa Damodara's neck. He spoke out his heart in ecstatic inspiration. Ya bege bhava utte prabhura antara, sei giti shloke sukha dena damodara. Whenever a particular sentiment arose in his heart, Swarupa Damodara satisfied him by singing songs or reciting verses of the same nature. That is also inspired by Krishna only. So, whatever mood he has, then he inspires the devotees to sing exactly that, verses which will accentuate his feelings. Ebe karya nahi kichu isab vichare, age iha vivari bakariya vistare. To analyze these pastimes is not necessary now. Later I shall describe them in detail. That is in Antya Leela. पूर्वे व्रजे कृष्णेरा त्रिविध वयो धर्म कौमारा पौगंडा आरा kaishora ati marma. Formerly in Vraja, Lord Krishna displayed three ages, namely childhood, boyhood, and adolescence. His adolescence is especially significant. Vatsalya aveshe kaila kaumara safala pauganda safala kaila lana sakavala. Parental affection made his childhood fruitful. His boyhood was successful with his friends. Radhika dilana kaila rasa divilasa vancha bhari ashwa dila rasera niryasa. In youth, he tasted the essence of rasa, fulfilling his desires and pastimes, like the rasa dance with Srimati Radhika and other gopis. So the youth is what we concentrate in the Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. You see on the all the temples, we have Krishna in the Kaishora form with Radharani. We don't worship Balagopal, or we don't worship a small Krishna or something like that. We only youthful Krishna because we are fully this thing to Madhurya Ras. Kaishura vayase kama jagata sakala rasadi lilaya tina karila safala. In his youth, Lord Krishna made all three of his ages and the entire universe successful by his pastimes of amorous love, like the rasa dance. So if we are in Madhurya Ras, we can also understand or appreciate Vatsalya and Sakya because Madhurya Ras includes every other Ras. Dasiras also because the devotees, the gopis want to serve him. And they're also Krishna's most confidential friends. And they also have Vatsalya Bhav, they're very protective about Krishna. So Madhurya Ras includes everything. And that's why in our Sampradaya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasized on Madhurya Ras. Sopi Kaishoraka Manayan Madhusudana Reme Stri Ratna Kutastha Kshapasu Kshapita Hita. Lord Madhusudana enjoyed his youth with pastimes on autumn nights in the midst of the jewel-like milkmaids. Thus he dispelled all the misfortunes of the world. Imagine, he was right here and now also he is having his Rasa Leela in Vrindavan every day, every night. And that is why all the misfortunes of the world are kept in bay. Otherwise, the amount of sins we are committing, I don't know how the world is even functioning. This is a verse from the Vishnu Purana. Vacha Shuchita Sarvari Ratikala Praghal Baya Radikam Vrida Kunchita Lochanam Virachayan Agre Sakinam Asau Tad Vakshoruha Chitra Keli Makari Pandityaparam Gataha Kaishoram Safali Karoti Kalayan Kunje Viharam Harihi. Lord Krishna made Srimati Radharani close her eyes in shame before her friends by his words relating their amorous activities on the previous night. Then he showed the highest limit of cleverness in drawing pictures of dolphins in various playful sports on a breast. In this way, Lord Hari made his youth successful by performing pastimes in the bushes with Sri Radha and her friends. This is a verse from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 2.1.231 of Srila Rupa Goswami. So it seems like, something where we should not try to understand this like how in the material world we experience. This is the topmost perfection, it is spiritual. And how can we understand what Krishna is going through? What are the feelings he feels? And if he that because that is true love, love of complete submission, love of wanting to give everything. So it is not lust. So we should not even try to equate that with this, because in the material world, we are thinking of our pleasure by doing all these things. But there, Krishna is, first of all, Sachidananda Vigraha, and he is having all these amorous pastimes, and he's doing it in front of everyone among the gopis, of course, those who are in that mood. And then everyone else also gets to hear it. So how is this? In the material world, it's not like that. Everyone is ashamed. Here, Radharani is just shy. She's not ashamed really. And Krishna is doing, this is sung by everybody. Everybody knows it's an open secret of Krishna's pastimes. Harir Eshana Ched Avata Avatarishan Mathurayam Madhurakshi Radhika cha Abhavishyat Iyam Vrita Vrishtir Makarankastu Vishet Tadatra. O Paurnamasi, if Lord Hari had not descended in Mathura with Srimati Radharani, this entire creation, and especially Cupid, the demigod of love, would have been useless. This verse is spoken by Sri Vrinda Devi in the Vidagdha Madhava 7.3 of Srila Rupa Goswami. So Paurnamasi is Radharani's grandmother, and she is very knowledgeable, very intelligent. She knows everything about, she's very, that professor kind of thing about all the loving affairs. Everyone consults Paurnamasi only. So, and I don't know who's speaking to her in the Vidagdha Madhava. O Paurnamasi, if Lord Hari had not descended in Mathura with Srimati Radharani, this entire creation, and especially Cupid, the demigod of love, would have been useless. Everything is coming from Krishna only. So the love between Radha and Krishna is the source of our, what we experience here is only a reflection or a perverted reflection of the original. So, in the original rasa is there of this, this love between Krishna and Radha, and the conjugal love is there. And that's why we also experience conjugal love here, because it is a reflection. Ye mata purve Krishna rase rasadhana यद्यपि करिला रस निर्यास चर्वण तथापि न हिलति न वांछित पूर्ण ताहा आस्वादिते यदि करिला यतन. Even though Lord Krishna, the abode of all mellows, had previously in this way chewed the essence of the mellows of love, still he was unable to fulfill three desires, although he made efforts to chase them. So imagine Krishna, he is all complete. There is nothing impossible for him. But if he has to be complete, there has to be certain things which even he cannot do. Then only it's complete. Everything is possible in Krishna. Everything should exist in Krishna. Then only is God. So the fact that he can experience everything, and then the opposite of that should also be there, that there are certain things that he cannot experience. And then but being God, he can also find a way to experience it. So He were every possible mellow of love. How many different levels of love he has got. From the Gopi, from Radharani to the Gopis, to the queens of Dwarka, and the Ayodhya, Sita's love, and then you have Vaikunta love, every possible, and in that also different devotees, different shades of love for him. He is the Rasa Vigraha. He is always experiencing all possible varieties of love. And even for such a person, there was something that he could not experience. He was unable to fulfill three desires. So if God can fulfill all his desires, he should also in God that there are certain things he also his desires are not fulfilled. And what were there? Tanhara Pratama Vancha Kariye Vyakyana Krishna Kahe Ami Haira Sera Nidana. I shall explain his first desire. Krishna says, I am the primary cause of all rasas. Right? He is the object. Rasas develop only because of Krishna and the love we feel for him. Purnanandamaya Ami Chinmaya Purnatattva Radhikara Preme Amakaraya Unmatta. I am the full spiritual truth and am made of full joy. But the love of Srimati Radharani drives me mad. He is the full spiritual truth and I am made of full joy. So there is no ananda that Krishna is experiencing the greatest ananda, but when he sees the love of Srimati Radharani, then he becomes even more mad with happiness. Na jani Radhara preme ache kata bhala, ye bhale amara kare sarvada vitala. I do not know the strength of Radha's love, with which she always overwhelms me. Radhikara prema guru ami shishyanata sada ama nana nritya nachaya udbhata. The love of Radhika is my teacher, and I am a dancing pupil. The prema makes me dance various novel dances. So that's what he's surprised, that what is it that love of hers that is controlling me, that is even more than my happiness. I mean, her, he is controlled by it. Kasmat vrinde priyasaki hare pada moolat kutosau kundaranye kim iha kurute nritya shiksham guruhuka tamtvam murtihi pratiktaru latam digvidikshu spuranti shailu shiva brahmati parito nartayanti swapaschat. Oh, my beloved friend Brinda, where are you coming from? I'm coming from the feet of Sri Hari. Where is he? In the forest on the bank of Radha Kunda. What is he doing there? He's learning dancing. Who is his master? Your image, Radha, revealing itself in every tree and creeper, in every direction, is roaming like a skillful dancer, making him dance behind. This text is from the Govinda Lilamrita 8.77 of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Same author, Govinda Lilamrita, and in this, Vrinda is having a conversation with Radharani, and she is telling her that he is in Radha Kunda and he's learning dancing. And so Radha was surprised, who's teaching him? And she says, your image. He sees Radharani's image in every tree and creeper, in every direction. And that form of Radharani is roaming like a skillful dancer. So he's seeing Radharani dance everywhere and he's learning, making him dance behind. Nija prema swade, Nija prema swade morahaya, ye ahlada tahahate koti guna radha prema swada. Whatever pleasure I get from tasting my love for Srimati Radharani, She tastes 10 million times more than me by her love. So that is what I mean. Krishna is saying, I also feel love for Radharani, but Radharani is tasting more than me by her love. Ami yache paraspara viruddha dharmashraya Radha preme taiche sada viruddha dharma maya. Just as I am the abode of all mutually contradictory characteristics, so Radha's love is always full of similar contradictions. Radha's love is all pervading, leaving no room for expansion, but still it is expanding constantly. So that is what is the contradiction. That there is nothing more. I mean, it is full, Radharani's love, and still that is also expanding. Yaha vai guru vastu nahi sunsi sunischita tatapi gurura dharma gaurava varchita. There is certainly nothing greater than her love, but her love is devoid of pride. That is the sign of its greatness. That is the amazing thing. Like in the material world, if somebody has some special quality, they'll have automatically with it some pride. Oh, I'm the greatest. But Radharani, no, pride means very simple. Anybody can approach her and talk to her, and she's so simple. She doesn't put on any airs. Oh, I'm the greatest lover of Krishna. And nothing like that. Anybody can talk and they feel that's the main thing, right? Why these celebrities and all that? Nobody can go and talk to them because they'll put on airs. Oh, I'm a great celebrity. You have to take appointment and then only talk to me. So, but yeah, there is no pride. Anyone can just go and talk to Srimati Radha and she talks very nicely. So that is what, I mean, that is greatness, right? If somebody is like that, they're full of beautiful qualities and then you can just approach them and talk to them. Then you feel, oh, they are really great. Otherwise, I think they're also proud. Yaha haite sunirmala dvitiya nahi ara tatapi sarvada vamya vakra vyavahara. Nothing is purer than her love, but its behavior is always perverse and crooked. So that is another thing. Radharani's love is so pure, but she's always, purposely not talking to Krishna, and she'll be waiting for Krishna, but she'll pretend as if she doesn't want to see him at all. So in that way, she's crooked. Vibhur api kalayan sada vivriddhim gurur api gauravacharya vihina muhur upachita vakrimapi shudho jayati muradvishi radhikanuraga. All glories to Radha's love for Krishna, the enemy of the demon Mura. Krishna, who is the enemy of the demon Mura. Although it's all pervading, it tends to increase at every moment. Although it is important, it is devoid of pride. And although it is pure, it is always beset with duplicity. This is a verse from the Dhanakeli Kaumudi of Srila Rupa Goswami. So here we see all contradictions. So that's what, although Radha's love is all pervading, everywhere Radha is there and her love is everywhere for Krishna. But still, even though it is saturated, this whole place is saturated with her love, and still it's increasing. And even though that love is so important, but it is without any pride, right? Important things one becomes proud, but she is not at all proud. And although it's pure, it is always beset with duplicity. So these are the contradictions. In Krishna, all contradictions can be adjusted. So, Sei Premara Sri Radhika Parama Ashraya Sri Premara Amihai Kevala Vishaya. Sri Radhika is the highest abode of that love, and I am its only object. All that love is focused on only Krishna. Vishaya Jatiya Sukha Amara Aswada Amahaite Koti Guna Ashrayera ahlada. I taste the bliss to which the object of love is entitled. But the pleasure of Radha, the abode of that love, is 10 million times greater. So, being the object of love, he is feeling happiness that he is getting so much love from her. But he is saying that more than him, Radharani is happy, 10 million times more happy than him because of giving that love. आश्रय जातीय सुख पाइते मन दाया यत्ने आस्वादिते नारी की करी upaya. My mind races to taste the pleasure experienced by the abode, but I cannot taste it, even by my best efforts. How may I taste it? So, Krishna, there is something which he cannot taste, and he's thinking, oh, how come? So, this is natural psychology, right? We also want to experience something somebody else is experiencing. And if we cannot experience, then we feel, oh, what is it that they are experiencing? Like I recently, okay, I'm diverting, but then, just to, because these rasas, we can understand when you relate it with our own experiences, and then we can see the psychology that we want to know. I mean, we're always inquiring from people, isn't it? Oh, what did you experience? Like, for example, yesterday, when devotee had written, he sent photograph and video of having climbed this thing, stamba, no, Narasimha stamba in Ahuibulam. It was looking so frightening. I mean, it is a steep, this thing down, and it's so narrow over there and so tall, and they're happily sitting there clicking photos and all that. And then I said, oh, wonderful. Please share your experiences with me. What did you feel? And he was mentioning, how he prayed to the Lord that before climbing, Prabhupada has done so much, Guru Maharaj has done so much, let me at least do this much. Something he prayed like that, and he climbed there, and he was taking a video of himself praying to the Lord, please bless our Guru Maharaj with good health. And then while climbing also, he took photo, clicking all different things on this thing. I mean, so because I didn't experience that, so what is this bravery? I was reeling just to see, but I don't want to mention this. Please don't try all this. Guru Maharaj himself said there is no need to climb that Ugra Stamba because we don't want to lose any devotees, Baba. I don't know. But in spite of telling all that, some devotees ventured up. I suppose Narsimadev gives them the strength and the desire and the ability to go up there and come back. It is definitely divinely this thing. But I was just saying, like the experience. What is that experience? I never experienced that. How do you manage to be so brave and just climb up like that? And what was your experience? How did you feel? He said, oh, I felt so nice, praying to the Lord and like that. So he shared. So it is natural that we always want to see, we want curious, what is that experience? And here, Radha and Krishna. So they are, Krishna is thinking, why Radharani, what is that experience? She is feeling much more happiness than what I am experiencing. कबू यदि ये प्रेमा रहा ये आश्रया तबे ये प्रेमानंदेरा अनुभवया. If sometime I can be the abode of that love, only then may I taste its joy. Vishaya and Ashraya are two very significant words relating to the reciprocation between Krishna and his devotee. The devotee is called the Ashraya, and his beloved Krishna is the Vishaya. Different ingredients are involved in the exchange of love between the Ashraya and Vishaya, which are known as Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvika, and Vyabhichari. Vibhava is divided into two categories, Alambana and Uddipana. Alambana may be further divided into Ashraya and Vishaya. In the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna, Radharani is the Ashraya feature and Krishna is the Vishaya. The transcendental consciousness of the Lord tells him, I am Krishna and I experience pleasure as the Vishaya. The pleasure enjoyed by Radharani, the Ashraya, is many times greater than the pleasure I feel. Therefore, to feel the pleasure of Ashraya category, Lord Krishna appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can see how being the servant of the Lord is much more enjoyable than what Krishna is experiencing as a person who is being worshipped. And that's why all the other expansions of the Lord, also starting from Balarama to all the Vishnu Tattvas, everyone just wants to serve Krishna. They're competing. The Chaitanya, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was trying to, give all importance to Advaita Acharya. You are my senior, I am your servant and all. And Advaita Acharya felt great misery. Why are you doing like this? I am your servant. You, so like that, there is more happiness in serving. So we should feel very privileged. One thing we can get more because we are worshipping Krishna, who is so, who is the source of all happiness. So our love, of course, we cannot compare with Radha, Krishna. But still, even in this exchange, what is Krishna getting in return? We are thinking of Krishna, we are getting Krishna. And Krishna, by thinking of us, is only getting us. That's so insignificant. So naturally, the love we feel will give us greater happiness than happiness that Krishna feels for us. But in Radharani's case, I don't know, it may be because Krishna is the object only. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki Jai Shri. Uh, because she is giving so much love and only Krishna. But Krishna is not like that. He's got so many people, unlimited. Krishna is for everyone. But for each of us, it's only Krishna. That is another reason also. Yeah, he is the Vishaya. And the exchange of love between Ashraya and Vishaya, which are known as Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvika, and Vyabhichari. I knew this, but now for some time I've not been this thing. Does anyone remember what is Vibhava, Anubhava? That is the secondary symptoms of that love. Satvika and Vyabhichari. Different experiences that happen because of that love. Maybe, this thing, Nectar of Devotion, and tomorrow I'll tell about all those categories. We should know that. If somebody remembers, they can share. I've forgotten it. Vibhava, Bhava, we know it is all Bhava. But Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvika, and Vyabhichari. So these are just the symptoms or the experiences that are what you call that manifest itself because of that love. And then Vibhava is divided into two categories, Alambana and Uddipana. That also, what is the cause of our sudden ecstasy? Sometimes just seeing Krishna's peacock feather, maybe not even Krishna, you just see a peacock feather and you become very ecstatic. So that is also, these categories of Alambana and Uddipana, like what is the cause of that ecstasy? Anyway, it's a science. And definitely from Nectar of Devotion, I'll read out tomorrow. In the loving affairs of
Bhakti,
Radha
I
and
found
Krishna.
something. I was just Googling it and can I read
Ah,
what I
yeah,
found?
okay, read.
It says in this division of Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, there are 5 general topics. One is
Hmm.
Vibhava, special symptoms or cause of ecstasy. Second is Anubhava, subsequent ecstasy. And third is Satvika Bhava, constitutional or existential ecstasy. Vyabhichari Bhava, aggressive ecstasy. And one more it says Sthai Bhava, fervent or continuous ecstasy.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, this is okay. Just a definition, the different types of, uh, you know, yeah, Sai Baba and then Vyabhichari and then what's the last one you said?
स्थायी भाव
Sai Baba. It becomes like a permanent thing.
permanent.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, with a little more explanation and all that, I will. You have it more explanation there.
No, Mataji, this is what I found.
Okay, from the nectar of devotion, because it's nicely explained and we should know it. So tomorrow I will definitely read. I'll keep the nectar of devotion, or if you can get it, nectar of devotion, and you can mark it, then you can read out tomorrow. Not tomorrow,
Okay,
Monday. Ah, you get it from the nectar of devotion. Then you can read it out on Monday.
okay, Mataji.
Um, so eta chinti rahe Krishna parama kautuki hridaye bhadaye prema lobha dak ki. Thinking in this way, Lord Krishna was curious to taste that love. His eager desire for that love increasingly blazed in his heart. Okay, we'll see that. Anyway, the whole thing is continuing, so it will be relevant. It'll be like if you read it out on Monday also. So, I mean, because Krishna is the Vishaya, and naturally, everybody is giving love more. We are not the Vishaya, we are Ashraya. So, Krishna cannot feel that much love because he is supposed to be the receiver of all that adulation. And, because he is the Purusha and everyone else is Prakriti. So the he is given that naturally, because Krishna is so very adorable, and by loving him we get more happiness. We might think, oh, Krishna must be enjoying himself, so many people worshipping him. But no, more than the happiness of being worshipped is the happiness of giving that worship. So there is no need to feel jealous of Krishna, because we are all here in the material world only because of that. We thought, why Krishna only should be worshipped? Why not me? Why I can't be God? So that's why we are here. And actually, we are in a privileged position, because by giving that love to Krishna, who is worthy of that, we can never be Krishna. How can we? Can we create anything? Everything is done by him, and we are only secondary doers. By his mercy we are doing, by his inspiration only, by his knowledge, by his intelligence, whatever he gives us, we are his puppets in his hands. And remaining puppets in his hands and trying to give pleasure to him makes us much more happy than what happiness he gets out of directing us, or he's also enjoying uh, giving love to his devotees. He also loves us. There's no doubt. But the because he is full of more qualities, naturally, we'll get more happiness by serving him, and by meditating on him. He will get more happiness than his meditation on us. What happiness compared to our meditation on him? So this we are in a better position actually. So there is no need to feel jealous of Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna. And stop now. Any questions or comments?
Mataji, Krishna is the source of everything, and he's Satchit Anand. And
Hmm.
it says, Purnavidam Purnamada Purnavidam Purnat Purnamuchyate. So everything is coming from him. So why cannot get the taste of Radharani by his own? Like why he has to uh, like uh, uh, like uh, become the servant of Krishna and come as a Mahaprabhu? What is that actually?
How can he understand? He has to be the giver of love. Then only he can understand. Now, if Radharani is really giving love, you cannot fake it. You have to actually experience. He has to become a devotee in order to understand what it is to pray to him, to love him. How can he? How can he be both? His expansion is Srimati Radharani. He has expanded himself into bhaktas, but he has to also become a bhakta in order to understand what they are experiencing, isn't it?
Okay, Mataji.
That is why the impossible also becomes possible for Krishna, because he comes in the mood of his own devotee. That is the way he can experience. Nothing is impossible. There are certain things Krishna cannot do, but Those things also Krishna can do. There is nothing impossible for him. So even though these opposite things, that something is not possible for Krishna, he can make it happen also at the same time. Everything is possible, even impossible things become possible for Krishna.
Okay, Mati. Thank you.
Hmm. We'll go for prayers today. I we pray for His Holiness Jeptak Swami, our Guru Maharaj, for his complete recovery, speedy recovery. I hope his blood pressure becomes normalized, and I hope Bangladeshi Hindus and our devotees are all safe. That is the cause of his worry. So we hope the blood pressure stabilizes and the situation also becomes okay. And also for all his servants, let us chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Then we pray for Srila Prabhupada disciples, all of his Prabhupada disciples with good health,